Hello, hello. I'd like to introduce everybody to our latest Young People in the 21st Century Church podcast series. We have today joining us Francis Jorvina. I believe I pronounced your last name right, Francis. Was that close?
Yeah, hello everyone. That was close. Actually, it's pronounced as Jorvina, but yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Hello, Sabrina.
Hi. Well, Francis is joining us from the Philippines, and I want him just to take a little time to introduce himself before we settle into the interview. You can just introduce yourself, Francis, to our listeners.
Oh, hi. Yeah. So my name is Francis, and I am a worship leader in our local church, and I also am handling our worship team, as well as I'm also a youth leader in our youth group of the same church. So yeah, I've been active since birth. Since I grew up in church, yeah, I've been active a lot ever since. So yeah, I work a day job, and of course, I also learn how to balance things and juggle things between my responsibilities in church and with my personal life. But yeah, that's pretty much me.
Okay, great. I wanted to just have you to tell us exactly, Francis, where you live.
Yeah, I live right now in the Philippines. It's a city called Parañaque here in the capital city of the Philippines. So it's a very tropical country. Yeah, it's a very nice country, and I am currently residing. And it's towards the southern area of the Philippines. So yeah, that's where I live right now.
Okay, great. Well, it is great to have you. I have had most of my guests, well, my other guests have been from the United States. So I'm glad to be able to talk to a young person that lives in another country. I think we're close to like 8,000 miles away from each other, but modern technology has allowed me to talk to you today and just to listen to some of the things that you have to say about the church in the 21st century. So I'd like to just get started. I heard you say that you have been in church pretty much for most of your life.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes.
Okay, so how can you tell me, is it different, or have you found it to really be different? Mostly in the last 2 years, I'm talking about, since COVID, and since we've had to close down some of our churches and find other ways to have church. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Was your church closed down at all?
Yes, here in the Philippines, there have been a lot of different rules and regulations throughout the course of COVID. And the pandemic has really, well, this is just me, but from what I observed, it has brought out the best and the worst of people, because it has brought them to an extent that it's either they long to go back to the church or they retract. And I'm just comfortable right here. There's live and play, there's live stream. So yeah, that's even in our local, even in the church I'm in, that's a struggle, and especially with our youth, it's a struggle that I've seen and I'm continue to see right now, because it's probably an effect of the pandemic and a lot of things going on in our society. In the latest war, right here in the Philippines, there's elections coming up, so it's really a matter of mindset, if I may say. But yeah, it's a struggle that we're continuing to battle right now, to bring people back to church. Because personally, I believe that's where all of us, at the end of the day, that's where all of us should commune in fellowship for our Lord Jesus Christ. So yeah, as I mentioned, it's a struggle, especially with the youth, with their parents, with anyone. Yeah, but I'm grateful and I'm thankful that things are a little by little getting back to normal, because at least we see a lot of people in church right now. At least we get to hang out with people, we get to fellowship with people, we get to worship on site. But of course, there's always this struggle of other people trying to get them back, trying to win them back to physically attend and go to church. Yeah.
Okay, so can you talk just a little bit about your relationship with the Lord and how it has it changed at all in the last 2 years? I know personally mine has. I found myself in prayer more over the last 2 years, being, seeing the things that are going on with the pandemic and now with wars and things like that. Can you talk to me about your relationship with God in the last couple of years, how it may have changed, if it did at all?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for that. Because I have to admit that my relationship with God, especially in these last 2 years, was kind of a roller coaster. Because it's not something I am proud of. It's not something I'm happy about, but it's something I'm grateful for. Because a lot has happened in my personal life. One of which I lost a job. There have been personal struggles that I've been going through. I've struggled with depression, anxiety, loneliness. I've seen people come and see people go in my life, and that in itself was my brief. Because there was a point in my life, I think that was 2020. There was a point when I really wanted to escape. I just wanted to leave everything behind and say, "Oh, I want to leave this. I want to surrender. I want to go. I don't want to be here anymore." So I came to the point of really questioning God, really getting angry at God, and I wasn't really appreciative of the people reaching out to me. I was really blinded by a lot of things, by the things that I see, by the situation that I face. Because at that point, 2020, if you can recall, it was really an uncertain time for us all globally, because it's the first time we encountered a pandemic, and it's very uncertain. And one thing's for sure, it's really, really difficult to lose a job and look for another job at that time. So I don't know if you listeners can attest to that, but I faced the reality of really rationing my food, and because I live alone from my family, and I faced a lot of battles at that time, financially, emotionally, even spiritually. Because as I mentioned earlier, I questioned God a lot. I questioned Him with what's happening in my life, not just my unemployment, not just the things I struggled with, but I questioned Him, in family matters, in church matters, in a lot of matters. I questioned Him a lot, and I really battled against God at that time. And then, 2020 was a turning point. It was a year of my breakthrough. That's what I can say, because towards the end of the year, I met people of the same faith. They were of our same denomination. They were of our same diocese in a way, but they're more towards the southern region of our country. So I got a chance to speak with them, and I got a chance to be friends with them. And at that time, I felt really alone. Because of everything that was going on, especially with COVID. And as I met them and as I speak to them, instantly I felt family. I felt brotherhood. I felt friends for the.
Okay, so are you saying that some of the things that you went through, it helped you to talk to other people?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because with just like a lot of the youth here in the Philippines, I really cannot tell for the youth in different countries, but a lot of the youth here in the Philippines were hit by tremendous depression, because of feeling alone, feeling like they had no one to talk to, feeling, despite social media, despite the apps that we can use to utilize. A lot of people, not just youth actually, a lot of people had that feeling of loneliness, had that feeling of being alone, because we were all confined in our homes, and we are created to be social beings. So it really took a toll on a lot of people, on a lot of children, on a lot of youth, this pandemic.
I think I just want to break in. Yeah. Just let me break in for a second, because I want to talk about something that you just said that I feel like is very important, Francis. You talked about us having access to social media, But that is really, really tricky, I think, in this day, because you can have many friends and be very lonely. You can
That is
be
true.
you can be on social media and have many, many friends and followers, but really not have anybody at all when there's nobody that you can stand next to, shake their hand, give them a hug, or look eye to eye. Then social media becomes this weird kind of thing where there seems like you
Yeah.
have lots of people, but in reality, it doesn't really seem like we have anybody at all. Can you speak a little bit to that, to our listeners that may depend on social media or even just be addicted or hooked to social media? Like I see
Yeah.
many young people, but it does not do anything when it comes to loneliness or being by ourselves. It does very little. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Sabrina, because in today's day and age, it's all technology driven. Everything, even our communication with people, even our relationship with people can be technology driven. And yeah, I am a person who loves technology. I love social media. And perhaps that is why I felt that loneliness when I needed people, because before the pandemic, I used to spend a lot of time in social media and the internet. And at the end of the day, when I needed company, when I needed someone to talk to, nobody was there. So yeah, that's just part of my life that I felt alone. That's one aspect of my breakdowns during that year. And yeah, I will totally agree with you, because social media right now and technology right now is really taking on a lot of our youth. Um, and sadly, a lot of our youth in the society does not use social media as how it should be. It is most of the time abused. It is most of the time misused. And on the bright side of things, a lot of people also use social media to convey a message, to convey in this particular avenue, to convey the word of God, to convey Jesus, and that's what I'm really happy about. But yeah, to summarize, social media and technology has taken a toll on a lot of our youth and a lot of our people, on a lot of in society in general. So yeah.
And it is most certainly not just in your country. It is all over the world that we see young people using social media in ways that is not so healthy. Can you talk about why it felt different for you once you found people to reach out to and look at them in person? What was that whole need in you when you that was satisfied once you found people that you could actually look in the eye and talk to? Can you tell me what? Let me try to phrase this so it makes more sense. You needed something that was satisfied once you got in the presence of people. I'm trying to speak again to social media and how important it is for young people to not just depend on social media for socialization, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So can you just speak a little bit to that, if you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, throughout my experience, as I mentioned earlier, that I am a very social media type of person, technology type of person, and probably that is why I felt that same way. I felt broken. I felt devastated when the pandemic hit, because my entirety was poured out on the internet or in technology, and that's probably why it has taken its toll on me. And speaking in behalf of the youth, in behalf of especially the young ones, social media was created with good and with bad. I mean, it has its pros, it has its cons. And my encouragement and my utmost desire is for at least the people or young people to see and discern what is good for them and what is bad for them. I learned it the hard way, and I'm not really proud of it. I'm not really happy about it. But again, I am grateful I have gone through that experience. So yeah, my utmost desire is for people to see, not just in social media, but in things that we love to do, that we see the beauty of it, we see the goodness of it, we see why it was created in the first place, why we are doing things in the first place. Because if we don't, it can take a toll on us eventually. It can take a toll on the user eventually. Just like